there, my name is Valerie White Williams and I'm a voice teacher and a vocal coach for Vocal Splendor Studios. Today I'm doing another reaction video. This time I'm reacting to Whitney Houston performing Didn't We Almost Have It All? Let's have a listen.
Once again, boy, we can take the night.
Okay, I am going to stop just a minute. She is so masterful. Notice when she gets on the stage, she is just totally in control, looking around the crowd, and she has her mic really close with that breathy sound, almost. Now, the other interesting thing is that not only is she completely owning the spotlight and really creating this, like I call pregnant pause, watching the crowd, turning her head, making sure everybody's included. And then she uses a lot of what I call negative space, where she sings and she leaves pauses and sings and pauses. So that's generating all of this anticipation. So let's keep going.
Living on feelings, touching you, I feel it all again. Didn't we almost have it all? All we had were giving. The ride with you wasn't perfect, my friend. Loving you makes life worth living. Did we all have it all? Forever and
Okay, there's so much to talk about Whitney. She makes everything look so easy. So when she phrases, her phrasing is kind of like a jazz singer, definitely came from that gospel background. Didn't we almost have it all? So she's not really singing on the beat. It's what we call back phrasing. And then she's using a lot of roulade. It's kind of an old-fashioned word of kind of moving the voice. And she's the master of using what I call the mouth resonance, from using the mic like this to back. So that's what you see there. Super intuitive. She grew up with the church. She grew up singing gospel. Her mom was a gospel singer. Her aunt was Dionne Warwick. So she grew up with all this great musical influences. So it just comes naturally for her. She is going into this kind of gospel turnaround thing where we basically have this repeat and fade where everybody is like looping. And so there's tell me. And so she is like improvising over that, the chorus, and very much of a gospel approach. I mean, that's the thing about Whitney. She really was a gospel singer, and she took that gospel training and gospel phrasing and the roulade and the embellishments to the pop world. And that's exactly what we're hearing here. Such beauty, such gorgeous voice. Oh, I miss Whitney. I'm not gonna lie, she was one of the influences for me. Not that I could ever be like her. I try. I do like singing her covers, but what a gorgeous voice. Such a loss for us. So that voice, that power, her presence. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but Whitney began as a model. She was my era, and she used to model for 17 magazine. And I remember seeing her as, she looked really different back then, but she started out as a model, and then she had her debut, I think, at 18. And the interesting thing about that is back in those days, people were really cautious. They weren't sure she was ready. Hello, she, like that album, the first Whitney album, just sold like gangbusters. And then that kind of brought in the teenager market, because it didn't used to be that teenagers were actually selling records. But but Whitney paved the way for that. Now, of course, Whitney was super gifted and talented, came from almost music royalty. Her aunt was Dionne Warwick, I think, huge star, still is around singing. And she just grew up with music. So when you grow up in a musical family where everybody's doing music, it just seeps into you, and you just follow along with your parents and your family, and you just do it. So her technique is totally ingrained. That's why she can be so expressive, because she doesn't have to think about her technique. She's not even thinking about breathing or her mouth. She just is responding to the moment, bringing that emotional intensity. She makes it look really easy. Now, one of the things, she's such a stunning woman, and she goes up there and she has this beautiful, of course, those huge, that was so big, but she definitely would hold, like this, and really has these dramatic poses that makes it sound more emotional. And then she phrases with that back phrasing and the roulade, very much gospel, very much in that gospel experience. And in gospel, it tends to like ramp up, starts kind of slow and mellow, and then we're going to ramp it up and do more. And she uses, again, a lot of what I call negative space. She back phrases, why did we almost have it all? So kind of not phrasing on the beat, but it's a little bit delayed, and it gives that kind of like, it amps up the energy. And then she does a lot of these embellishments and lots of pauses to build it up. Now, as she gets going, you can see she's like kicking, she's like moving her body. It's kind of like that preacher singing where she's really amping up the phrasing, yet at the same time, she's emotionally, internally telling the story. There are moments where she'd close her eyes, and that's something that so many singers get told, never close your eyes, you're losing us. But the truth of the matter, the greatest singers in the world will close their eyes to kind of tune into the emotion and the pictures, the visualization. So to sing an emotional song, you need to tune into the feeling, the emotion, and have something in your mind that triggers you to feel the song. Because it's kind of like this time warp when you're on a stage like that, and there's all these people that are staring at her, and all those Marines, they're so cute, and they, so it's easy to kind of lose your focus. So when you close your eyes, it keeps you back, brings you back to like what you're telling from within. And besides that, internally expressing herself, she has the drama of, she ends the song like this, and then she turns to this. And I just was amazed to see her work the stage, because she walked all over the stage. She even like took flowers from one of the Marines and just kind of made sure everybody was part of it. And again, that's part of the gospel tradition too, because in the gospel tradition, it's to worship, it's to church. So you want to include everybody. You want to bring up the energy and maximize it. So you see that kind of gospel tradition with her, even though this is a pop song. But that was one of the things that Whitney did, is she brought this gospel sense of drama and intensity and working the energy of the song to a very higher level. Now, the other thing about her is she's got a great voice. Her ear is impeccable, as one of my teachers would say it. Totally sings in tune. Whitney would have no need for auto-tune, and that's one of the things that frustrates us from this era, is that the people that used to have record contracts could really sing, where now we have models that lip sync, and the studio works to make their voice better, and they need to be auto-tuned and all this stuff. So that's why we kind of go, the quality's really gone down, because we don't have really pure, brilliant artists like Whitney anymore. And, she's such a storyteller. She's such a storyteller and such great phrasing. She's a master of, oh, didn't always have it all. Ah! So really able to go back and forth between different vocal qualities to tell the story, not to show off, but to actually add to the drama of the story. I could go on and on with Whitney, and I definitely look forward to doing more, because Whitney is one of my personal favorites, not gonna lie. So if you would like me to do more Whitney Houston reactions, make sure you click on the bell and subscribe so you get notified of all my uploads. And please let me know what other classic Whitney should I react to. She's such a great person to learn from, and super fabulous singer, especially in her heyday. All right. Also, I want to let you know, thanks for the likes, shares, and subscribes. I so appreciate it. And I want to let you know that during this lockdown time, I am still teaching voice. I've been teaching online for almost 10 years, so I'm really comfortable with working with all sorts of singers, from beginners to even professionals in all genres. So if you're interested in lessons, please go to my website at vocalsplendor.com. Also, I have a free Facebook group called Creative Soul Alignment, and it's a group of all kinds of people from all over the world that are interested in the creative arts, including singing, crafts, painting, and spirituality, and how that combines. And of course, Whitney's a perfect example of that, because that gospel tradition, the spirituality, and the music is what it's all about, is we are creators. And when we use our creative arts and we create, we experience the spiritual of creativity. It's kind of linked together. All right, I think that's it. Hope you guys are doing great with this lockdown. Keep the music going, because it's going to keep us together. All right, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.